All right, good morning, everybody. All right, let's stand in our mountain pose. Top of the head to the ceiling. Feet are flat on the floor, so we're all grounded. Make sure your knees are soft. Back is in a natural curve. Shoulder blades in their pockets. Shoulders under the ears. Down and relaxed. And again, let's take some deep breaths. Diaphragmatic breath in through your nose. And exhale, slow. So you're emptying out that stomach right there. You're going to fill that belly up with that oxygen. Exhale and empty. Again, everything is nice and relaxed. Top of the head to the ceiling, chin off your chest. Ears are over your shoulders right here. Shoulder blades in their pockets. Shoulders over hips, hips over knees, knees over ankles. Toes and knees are forward. Feet flat on the floor. Weight under the big toe, baby toe, and heels. Toes are just resting. Knees are soft. Let's take some deep breaths and reach up. And exhale down. And again, reach up, fill up that belly. And exhale, relax. And again, we're gonna breathe in and reach, stretch that spine, lengthen. And exhale, let's start with that full body scan. Inhaling, looking down, exhaling, rolling your chin to your right shoulder. And inhale, look down, exhale, rolling your chin to your left shoulder. And inhale, look down, exhale, rolling to your right shoulder. We're warming up the neck muscles right now. And inhale, look down, exhale, rolling to your left. And inhale, look down, exhale, rolling to your right. I'm gonna hold it right here. If you need to keep moving, please do. Inhale, exhale, try to look over a little bit further. And inhale, look down, exhale, rolling to your left. Breathing in. And as you exhale, try to look over a little bit further. Again, getting a nice stretch in the neck. And inhale, look down, exhale, rolling your chin to your center, so bringing your chin as close to the chest as you can, giving the 7 vertebrae a nice stretch. Deep breath in. Exhale, look up and kiss the sky. And inhale. And exhale, looking down, bringing your chin a little closer. And inhale. Exhale, look up and kiss the sky. That's going to work the facial and the neck muscles. Get rid of those wrinkles. And inhale. And exhale, looking down. I'm going to use my hands. It's an option. You don't have to. Pushing that chin right down to that chest carefully. Don't let anything hurt. Breathing in. Let go of the head. Exhale, look up and kiss the sky. And inhale. And exhale, head and neck in line with the spine, chin is off your chest, ears are over your shoulders here, shoulder blades in their pockets, dropping the right ear, your right ear to your right shoulder. Big breath in, left palm pushes as you exhale. Left ear to left shoulder, right palm push. Right ear to right shoulder, left palm push. So you're gonna feel a nice little stress, releasing tension out of that neck right here, getting a nice stretch. Left ear to left shoulder, inhale. Exhale and push. Head and neck in line with the spine, chin is off your chest. Going with my shoulders now, I'm gonna bring them forward. And again, don't do anything that hurts. So if this hurts, please just don't do it. Just shrug up and down if you can. Just try to move them to your range of motion. Any little movement will really help. Get the lymphatic fluid flowing through your body, lymphatic and your synovial fluid for oiling your joints. Deep breath in, reach up. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale down, opening up the chest. So I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to exhale, blowing out the stale used oxygen sitting in the chest. And then I'm going to go with my elbow. So if you can't do this, please don't. So it's a little bigger range of motion right here, using smaller muscles in the shoulder area. And I'm going to rotate my core and give it a little dance, putting the weight into the opposite leg of the arm that's coming around. And I'm going to pick it up a little bit more, and remember to breathe. Breathing is so important. Muscles will not work if you're not breathing. So again, I'm trying to gain more range of motion in my shoulder area here. I'm adding that rotation so that I'm able to come back a little bit more. Otherwise, this is as far as I can reach. But once I add that rotation, I'm able to touch the wall here. I'm going to take them down, and then I'm going to bring them both to the front and open up the upper back. Exhale. Big inhale, reach up. Exhale, belly button pulls into the spine, blow it up. Exhale, opening up the upper back, so the back of the lungs, cleaning out the back of the lungs. You might feel a little congested. Exhale, one more time, all the way up, bring that energy up. Pull that energy in towards your body. Then I'm gonna work into my waist, so I'm gonna push up the sky, putting the weight now into the same leg of the arm that's coming up. Nice and slow. Push and push. And remember to breathe. Big breath in and exhale, reach. Inhale, exhale, and exhale one more time to your left. And then I'm gonna hold up the sky here, big inhale. Exhale to your right, to your point of tension, inhale. Exhale to your left. If you need to, you might need to widen out your stance for this. Exhale to your right. Inhale and exhale to your left. And I'm going to go over one more time to your right, and I'm going to hold it right here. So remember, go to your point of tension. Don't let anything hurt. And feel the stretch. Inhale. Exhale. I'm going to come down a little bit more. Deep breath in. Exhale up and over to your left. And hold it here. Breathing in. Exhale down a little bit more. Remember, widen out your stance if you need to. Deep breath in. Exhale up and backstroke back. And again, these shoulders work for us all day long, so we want to keep them lubricated, keep them moving, slow control. Get the lymphatic fluid flowing through those shoulders. Lymph nodes do not have pumps, so we're actually pumping out the lymphatic fluid for our protection. It's going to help us protect from any diseases, any colds, flus, whatever's out there. And I'm going to take them down. I'm going to go right into my hula. So I'm going to take my hips all the way around. And this is the only place your energy actually goes around is through those hips. So we're going to keep those hips lubricated, warmed up. Okay, so remember they have to move in different directions when we sit down. If we're in our car, we're getting out of our car, we got to move our hips up, our knees over here, and our hips are still here, and then we have to twist and turn. And let's go around the other way. So up, all the way around. So just think of that water flowing all the way through those hips, all the way around. But remember to breathe. Very important to breathe. And I'm going to hold them to my center, so they're right underneath my shoulders. I'm going to bring my hands up. You don't have to. Taking your hips over to your left. Spine is long. And then pick it up, and the hips go to my right. My hips are at my right, and the hips go to the left. So the spine's staying nice and long. Head and neck in line with the spine. Chin is off my chest. Ears are still over my shoulders. I'm just moving my back through my hips. So if I need to move something over, I do it like this instead of using the spinal cord all the way around. I'm using the big muscles of the lower body. I'm going to take it straight up. Big inhale. Exhale, bow. Working the hamstrings. Exhale up, pushing the heels into the floor. Big inhale. Exhale down. Big inhale. Exhale your way up. Push those feet right into the floor. Exhale. Big inhale. Exhale your way up. I'm going to do one more of these. So come to your range of motion. If you feel dizzy, keep your head up over your heart. And let's bring it up. And I'm going to do some squats. So chair pose, sit, and stand. So I'm going to scoop up some water, and then I'm going to drop. So I'm moving my arms, lubricating those arms again in a different direction. They're going up, and then they're going down. My hips are still going back, just like they just did. I'm lubricating into the quadriceps, big muscle right here. Sit back. Watch your knees. They're staying over your ankles. Don't let them pass your toes. And try not to lean forward when you do this, because that's work in the back. I'm going to sit and stand. Then I'm going to hold my knees slightly bent. I'm going to roll them around. And remember, don't do this if it hurts. And we're all different, and every day is different. So maybe Tuesday you couldn't do this, and today you can. It's a little cooler today. We got a little more oxygen in the air, so we're able to breathe. And I'm going to go around the other way. So what I'm doing is trying to warm up all the smaller muscles around the knees, the quads, the shins, and the calves. And then I'm going to take them up and I'm going to take them out and in, and now really getting into the adductor, the inner thighs, out, put them together and lift up, out, together, and breathe. And then I'm going to hold them here. I'm going to take them the other way. Now I'm thinking about the outer thighs, right out here. So strengthening up all the little muscles around the bigger muscles, really going to help you with range of motion, with more flexibility in your body, more strength. But remember, muscles won't work if you're not breathing, so we need to breathe. I'm going to hold them straight up. You might need to come beside your chair. Make sure you're coming beside your chair. You don't want to reach for your chair. I'm going to stand on one foot so I can do this without holding on to my chair. And I'm going to lift the leg up. So I have all my body weight right into the right leg. Left leg is lifted, and I'm circling my ankle. And again, lubricating the ankles, helping those toes and those feet to work a little bit easier for you. Very important to do throughout your day. I'm going to go the other way with that ankle. So if you need to, keep it on the floor. And again, hold on to your chair, have it close to you. And then I'm going to take it down. All right, going right over to the opposite foot. Place that foot right into the floor. Empty this right leg and roll that ankle. So again, all my weight is right over this left leg. Right leg is totally empty, except for I'm rolling that ankle. Lubricating the ankle joints. Getting ready for that foot to work for me the rest of the day. Let's go around the other way, nice and slow, control. Find your balance, shoulders are even, hips are even, top of the head ceiling, chin off your chest, ears over your shoulders, shoulder blades in their pockets. Focus on something not moving. And take it down. Try to spread your toes out. And then push them to the floor. Very important to have nice strong toes. Keep them moving. Keep that, arthritis out of there. When I spread them nice and wide, they're going to hold me up a little bit easier. I'm going to push them into the floor. It's going to lift my arch up, strengthening the whole foot. And down. And then I'm going into a bicycle pump, so I'm pumping out the calf muscles right here. And that's going to help keep your toes warm. I'm going to open and close my hands. Nice and wide, and fist just like I did with my toes, wide and in. And remember to breathe. And then I'm going to go for a little walk, and I'm going to roll my wrists. And this is a good thing to do throughout your day, especially if you're on your cell phone all day, on the computer, or driving. You need to give yourself a break and roll those wrists. Let's go around the other way. Remember, these are muscles too, so they will not work if you're not breathing. And I'm going to stand in my mountain pose, and you should be able to open and close your hands a little bit easier, so test that. Every once in a while, give your wrists a roll and feel your fingers moving a little bit easier. And this is my mountain pose. I'm going to stand towards my chair, getting ready for our poses. Remember, come out of a pose if it hurts. Absolutely, make sure you're coming out of the pose nice and slow. And just stand in your mountain pose or have a seat and just practice your belly breaths. Big breath in, fill up, exhale. Mountain pose, relax, feet connected to the floor. Crown of the head is lifted up to the ceiling. And let's begin with our downward dog. Deep breath in, reach up. Exhale, folding yourself forward, back is straight. I'm going to widen out my fingers as I hold on to my chair, or you can come down on the floor. If you're on the chair, walk your feet back, tailbone to the ceiling as the ears drop in between the arms. I'm going to walk my dog, getting a nice stretch in my calf muscles right here. Tailbone is up, so I'm feeling the hamstring, lower back. Think of my head to my tailbone as a straight line, getting a nice stretch in my whole spine. I'm pushing my palms into the chair, so I'm feeling the triceps here, getting a nice stretch, and my lats, sides of your back. All posterior stretching going on right now. Remember to breathe. I'm going to come on my toes and try a plank pose. So coming up, hinge yourself forward. Make sure your shoulders are not up here or way down here. Relax. It's all about the core. If you wanted a challenge, you could lift a leg, working the buttocks muscle. So that would be right there. Or if you can, lift an arm and work that lat and challenge your balance. Or if you can, lift them both. Come out of the pose if this bothers you, or come down on your forearms if it bothers your wrist or your hands. I'm going to change my challenge. Either an arm or a leg. So straight line from my fingertip to my toes, all the way down my spine. And then I'm going to bring myself down on my forearms, and I'm going to bring my knees in and feel this in the lower belly. So you have a little pouch underneath your belly button, and this is what's going to work it, is just pulling those knees in and in, or just drop them down. And if you can, drop them both and release. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. So this is where you're feeling it, right here, right there. Buttocks is straight, so that's not moving, just my knees are coming down. And then I'm coming into upward dog, so I'm going to place my hands back on the chair or the floor. Drop the belly down, look up, inhale. Exhale, downward dog. Tailbone up to the ceiling again, walk your dog. Or keep your heels to the floor, get your tailbone way up. I'm feeling this low back, get a nice stretch. Upper leg, very well connected, so make sure those hamstrings get stretched throughout your day. Push the heels into the floor, nice stretch for the calves. Palms into the chair, feel the triceps, back of the arms, and the sides of the back. And I'm going into my Warrior One pose from here. Right foot, your right foot coming in between the chair legs. I'm going to pick myself up with a back straight. If you need to, take your chair with you. Have that chair close to you so you're not reaching for it. Keeping your balance, shoulders and hips even. Back is straight. Back is in a natural curve right now, but if that bothers your back, pull the tailbone under. So that means pull that belly button right in. My hands are up, shoulder blades in their pockets. Get the shoulders out of your ears, relax. Challenging your balance side to side, so you might need to hold on. Belly breaths. Crown of the head right up to the ceiling. Feet are flat on the floor, weight distributed evenly under both feet. Under the big toe, under the baby toes, and under the heels. I'm going to try my Warrior Three pose, so I'm just going to put my chair back, and I'm going to come forward. Spine is staying nice and long, legs coming up. You got your chair right here, or you can hold on here, but put all the weight inside of that right leg, coming right down. So we're just here, we're flying, and again, your chair is here, so grab it if you need it. Or again, keep your foot on the floor. Challenge all the weight. So we're really challenging this ankle right here, challenging that balancing, your balancing act right here. Ankle might be a little wobbly. One ankle might be stronger than the other, so the other side might be harder, or this side might be harder. I'm going to take it back to my Warrior One, toe ball heel, lift up. Again, if it bothers your back, belly button pulls in. Breathing. Deep breath in. Exhale into your Warrior Two. So hips and shoulders now come forward. Hands come down. Chin going right over your right shoulder, looking over your right fingertips. Crown of the head up to the ceiling. Chin here. Everything even. Shoulders in their pockets, shoulder blades in their pockets. Right there. Core is lifted up, hips are even, shoulders are even, feet flat on the floor. Challenging balance forward to back now, so if you still need to hold on, have that chair close to you. The chair or the wall, whatever you have. And I'm going to try a triangle or a side bend. So it's just a side bend. You're coming down to the side. I'm going to feel this here. And again, my chair is here. If you needed to hold on up here, or if you can hold on to your leg if you have the balance, or if you can come down. So it's all up to today. So remember, every day is different. One day you'll be able to move a little bit easier than another. It happens to all of us. And make sure you're breathing. So my shoulders and my hips are facing forward. Once my shoulder comes down here, it's more of a back bend. I'm feeling this here. I want to try to get to the side in case you need to look under your car or under the couch. You're looking for that cat or that dog, or you're looking for money, looking for that winning ticket. And I'm going to exhale as I come up. And then my knees and toes are forward. I'm doing an inverted triangle. So core rotation, spinal twist, and a fold. Nice and slow. Everything is slow. I'm really getting every little muscle working in this body. I'm going to try to bring one shoulder to the ceiling, the other shoulder toward the floor, getting a nice spinal twist. Get some good oxygen in that spine right now. If you feel dizzy, get that head right up over the heart. Hold it up here. This is absolutely fine. I'm going to take it into a ragdoll so that hand comes down, and I'm just going to hang. So those shoulders hanging right here are going to open up the upper back. Tailbone to the ceiling as I'm just hanging here. Deep breaths in, big breath out. And I've put my hands on my quads. I'm going to cat arch my way up. Tuck your chin into your chest. Roll your tailbone under. Come up one vertebrae at a time. Always let your head come up last or you will feel dizzy. Exhale. And then I'm going into my chair pose. So your feet might need to stay wide. Exhale, sitting. Remember, you need to sit back. Don't bring your knees forward. Try to get it out of that habit of bringing the knees forward. And I'm going to come up and down on my toes while I'm here, just to give me something to do while I'm sitting. And it's going to strengthen those calf muscles, and it's going to challenge your balance to see how strong are those toes. Are they going to hold you from falling forward? If not, you need to practice pushing those toes back into the floor every once in a while during your day. Big muscles working. You should only feel this in the quadriceps and maybe the buttocks and the calves if you're on your toes. You should not feel anything in your back or your knees. So remember that. If anything hurts, up, take it wider. If it still hurts, don't go down that low. And let's place those heels on the floor. Exhale your way up. Inhale, reaching. And then exhale down. We're going to stand on our right foot. So I'm going to take my chair right here. And I rotated my chair. So you want to do this anytime you ever need to, so that my chair is not way over here and I have to reach and maybe I'll miss and I'll fall on the floor. Protection. And now what I'm doing is placing my left heel in front of my right toes. Hips are even, shoulders are even. I'm going to empty out that left leg, filling the right. Remember, ankle, working hard here. Hips even, shoulders even, head to the ceiling, chin, ears. Focus on something not moving. Look down with your eyes, not with your head, because then you're off balance. And remember to breathe. Do not hold your breath. Everybody, when they're doing something hard, tends to hold their breath. Try to breathe. I'm going to take this into a tree, so that foot's going out. That knee now came out here, so it's challenging my balance in a different way. You might need to hold on. My toes are facing down. That foot is right into that calf, right there. Try not to put it right directly on your knee. If you need to, take it over and bring the knee out or down, whatever you can do. Hips, shoulders, even. Head, chin, ears. Ankles working hard, so you can tell. And I'm going to try my dancer pose. So another balancing pose. You're either going to grab your foot and get a nice quadricep stretch, or if you wanted a challenge, I was here. I'm just going to take it back, tuck my tailbone under, and lower down. So my shoulder, my hip, and my knee are even. I'm feeling this great big quadricep muscle from those squats, and we will do more. Chair poses. So either here or dancer poses here. I'm pushing my foot into my hand into my foot. Nice stretch. I'm going to take this down. I'm going to walk around. We're going to go grab a drink. So remember, drink anytime. It's getting warmer in here. So your little break. I'm going to take my chair, move it over to my left side. If you're facing me, you don't have to move your chair at all. We're just using the opposite leg. So I'm facing my chair, standing in my mountain pose, getting ready. Everything is soft, getting ready to work the left side of my body now. Deep breath in, reaching up. And exhale as you fold, placing the palms in the center of your chair. I'm going to widen out my fingers. I'm going to walk my feet back as my tailbone goes up to the ceiling. My ears will drop in between my arms at the same time. I've got that going for a walk with my dog, so I'm pushing my heels into the floor, tailbone to the ceiling. I'm feeling my upper leg and lower back at the same time with that tailbone way up, like somebody's grabbing your hips, pulling them up. Spine is nice and long all the way to the top of the head, lengthening your spine. Palms pushed into the chair, tricep and lats. Sides of your back, that's what picks things up and puts things down. Give everything a nice stretch. Posterior stretching right here. Coming on my toes, hinging forward into my plank pose. So remember, straight line from head to tailbone or head to heels if you're on the floor. Shoulder blades in their pockets, relaxed. If you want a challenge, you can lift a leg or an arm or both. Challenge that core, challenge your balance. Anything hurts, come out of the pose, come down on your forearms if you need to. Make sure you're breathing, do not hold your breath. I'm going to switch my challenge. All right, so either a leg or an arm. I'm going to do both because I can. And just breathe. Oh, this is for the core. Remember, anything bothers you in the back, come out of the pose. And let's all come down on our forearms. Right down here. And I'm going to pull those knees in. Pull the knees in. And again, this is going to work into that pouch right underneath the belly button. Pulling those knees in without moving your buttocks. Or you can drop the knees down. Exhale. Lift them up. Inhale. Exhale. Remember, shoulders are relaxed. Straight line from the head to the tailbone. Pull and up. And this is basically a reverse curl. So if I was laying on the floor, I'd be pushing my lower back into the floor, and then I would release into a natural curve. I would take a deep breath, exhale, and in. And one more time. And then going into my upward dog. So coming back on my hands, dropping the belly down, scooping your way up, and exhale into downward dog, pushing back. Heels to the floor or walk your dog. Ears are right beside those arms. Tailbone up to the ceiling, like somebody's grabbing your hips and pulling them up. You feel that low back, feels so good. Going into my warrior one on the left side. So take your left foot, either place it in between your hands if you're on the floor or in between the chair legs, taking yourself right up. And again, if you needed your chair, just have it right next to you, right here, just for better balance. Or if you have a wall next to you, hold on to the wall without reaching down, because then I'm off balance right here. You don't want to be off balance. You want to learn how to balance yourself. Keep those feet flat on the floor, weight under the big toe, baby toes and heels, knees and toes facing same direction, hips underneath my shoulders, up, shoulder blades in their pockets, belly breaths. So now I'm going to try my warrior three pose. So I'm going to put my chair right back, and I'm going to come forward, keeping my spine nice and long. You're going to either hold it here, hold on to your chair, or tap your toe on the floor, your toes touching the floor. Fingertips and toes will have sensory nerves in them, so they're going to say, well, you're holding on, even if you just got them tap. Holding on to the chair, if I just hold on like this, my sensory nerves will say, okay, you're holding on. Really getting a good workout in this ankle, knee right over that ankle, toe and knee facing forward. I'm going to take myself right up back into my warrior one, toe ball heel. Again, if you need your chair, take it with you. Shoulder blades in their pockets, relax. Inhale, exhale into your warrior two. So hips and shoulders now come forward, shoulders directly over my hips. Taking it down, I'm going to look over my left shoulder now. Top of the head to the ceiling. So not your forehead, we're not looking up here. Top of the head, crown of the head they call that. Hips and shoulders even. Shoulders getting a good workout. Felt that pull in that inner thigh as I rotated those hips and those legs stayed there. And you're breathing. Challenging my balance forward to back, so push the feet right into the floor. It's going to help you connect to the earth, connect to that floor. I'm going to try my triangle or side bend. So I'm going to come down. And again, if you feel dizzy at all, you keep your head right up here or just come right out of the pose. Go grab a drink if you need. I'm going to come down a little bit lower, keeping my hips and my shoulders forward, forward, forward. Side bend, and again, in case you need to look under the car or under your couch or the chair, look under something. And there's a car parked right next to you and you can't bend sideways. You have to bend sideways, you can't bend right down. If you feel dizzy, heads up over the heart, remember. I'm going to exhale myself up, pushing the feet into the floor. Really going to help you with your back. All the way up, toes and knees are forward, inverted triangle, core rotation, spinal twist, and a fold. So I've got one shoulder facing the ceiling, the other shoulder facing the floor. Hips here, all the way down, fold, spinal twist, exhale. Inhale, and exhale. That hand is down. I'm going to ragdoll here. Drop your shoulder blades right down to the floor. Top of the head to the floor for oxygen exchange going on in the head. If you feel dizzy, get your head right up over your heart. Hands around the quads. Cat arch your way up. Tuck your chin in. Tuck your tailbone under. Going back to my chair. I'm going to bring my feet in. You might need to keep them wide. So if I sit down here and that bothers my knees or my back, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to try to sit again. If it starts to bother me, I'm just going to stand up and just go to my range of motion. Remember, don't let anything hurt. So this is just for the great big quadriceps. Sit stands are the best exercise we can do as seniors because we want to be able to get up off our chair without asking somebody for help every time we need to stand up. And you know we stand up and sit down all day long. Get up, get up in the morning, grab your coffee, tea, whatever you drink, sit out on the couch, and you got to get up and get another one. Go sit down again for a little while, get up, go brush your teeth, do all that stuff. You need to sit again, you need to stand. Big exhalation as I come up. Inhale up and exhale down. I'm going to grab my chair and do my balance poses on my left foot. So rooster standing on the left. I'm going to take the right heel in front of the left toes. Shoulders even, hips even. My chair is here in case I need it. I'm emptying out that right leg. Center of my mass, center of my whole body right now is over the left leg. I'm not leaning anywhere. I'm standing straight, pushing that foot into the floor. Right here, top of the head, chin, ears. Challenging that ankle, might be a little bit weaker than the right. I'm going to take this into my tree. On the inside, toes facing down. So I'm focusing on something not moving right now. Just looking down with my eyes. I'm not moving my head because it's going to take me off balance. So look down with your eyes. Breathe into the belly. And can we go into our dancer pose or quadricep stretch? Dancer pose, right here, I've got my foot. I'm gonna pull my knee back until I feel it. If you're balancing here, if you're modifying, I just brought my toe back, tucked my tailbone under, drop my knee down like I'm kneeling down. I'm bowling or I'm vacuuming underneath the couch, whatever. Watching this knee, it's over the ankle. Body straight, shoulders over hips. Nice stretch for that quad. Dancer pose looks like this. Remember to breathe. And let's take it down. You can walk around again. For a little while, big muscles just worked. Got the heart rate up. Drink, drink, drink. So important to drink before, during, and after any exercise class or anything you do. If you go for a walk, make sure you drink before, during, and after. I'm going to turn my chair now because we are going to have a seat. You're welcome. Some of you like to sit on the floor. Welcome to sit on the floor. So do the same things, but modified on the floor. We modify on the chair. Shoulders over my hips. Hips are over my knees. Yeah. Hips are 90 degrees from my knees. My knees are 90 degrees from my ankles. I don't want my toes here. Puts too much pressure on the knees. Bring those feet out. Shoulder blades in their pockets. So if you're sitting on the floor, shoulders are over your hips. Try to lift that rib cage up a little bit. Keep your knees soft. I'm going to cross the right leg over the left. If you can't cross the legs, cross at the ankles. Take your left arm around the right leg, right arm on the back of the chair. Exhale as you're twisting. I'm going to cross it over and I'm going to roll my wrist and ankle joints. So even if you're here, just try to give them a nice roll. So it's a seated spinal twist. My hips are stuck right to the chair. My sits bones are stuck to the chair. I've got my body twisted, so core rotation. Like I have a flashlight in the... Let's go the other way with your joints. Flashlight in my shoulders and my belly button, so I want them both facing over this way. I'm going to relax those joints. I'm going to exhale as I take myself. And I'm going to try to cradle pose, and this is a great stretch for that outer hip. So if you can do it, that's great. If you can't, just watch and breathe. I'm going to push the fatty part of the knee down. I'm going to drop the chest down. So remember, one side you're going to be able to come down a little bit further. So this is for your hip, and the hip works all day, whether you sit or you stand, and both. Make sure you're breathing into, back is straight, head, neck in line with the spine, chin off your chest. Tuck the chin in, slowly roll yourself up, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So cross the ankle or the legs. The ankle's fine, seated spinal twist, exhale. And I'm going to roll my joints. So see, my shoulders are still even. My hips, of course, are even because my sits bones are stuck to the chair. I'm not leaning anywhere, so that spine is nice and long. It's getting a nice little twist. And I'm going the other way with those joints. Oops, it's this one. I'm going to relax those joints. I'm going to exhale as I come forward. That exhalation is going to relax those muscles, enabling those muscles to work for you. Picking that foot up. My ankle on top of the quad, not on your knee. Fatty part of the knee down. Exhale as you come forward. And again, this side I'm able to come down a little bit more, a little more range of motion in this side because it's not as short as this side, so that means it doesn't work as hard. My left side works harder. So you've got one side, they're both the same, but one will work different than the other. One will be tighter, one will be looser. This seems to be looser. I'm going to breathe and come down a little bit more. And I'm going to tuck my chin in and slowly roll my back up one vertebrae at a time. I'm going to do a couple ab rocking. So some people like to get on the floor for this if they've been sitting in the chair. I've got my feet out, feet are wherever, knees are soft. I'm just going to drop my shoulder blades down to the floor, keeping my back straight. My neck's not going anywhere, my chin's not going anywhere. It's all about the core. So it's going to sit me up, it's going to sit me down. So if I'm gonna bring my neck up like this, that means I'm working that neck muscle. I'm working my back. I wanna just work into the core. And then I'm gonna hold it. So my shoulders are not touching the chair right now. I'm gonna lift my leg up. I can show you. My shoulders are here, so I'm away from my chair, still working into that core. I'm gonna switch legs. So I got my palms facing the ceiling, and I'm going into what's basically called a corpse pose. Drop your feet wherever, knees are soft, back in a natural curve, neck is in a natural curve. Don't bring it back too far because you're going to stretch and you're not going to be able to breathe as easy. Everything is natural here. If you're laying on the floor, your neck is in a natural curve. You're not feeling your lower back at all. That's off the floor. You're able to get your hand back there. Also, your knees are nice and soft. We just unplugged ourselves. So this is all for repair, rejuvenate, repair, replenish. All our major muscles worked. We worked smaller muscles, bigger muscles, fast muscles, slow muscles. We worked the brain. We worked into all these guys up here. Everything's going around now, repairing. We got our breath going on, working the heart, the lungs. Diaphragm, pushing down as I breathe in, pushing up as I exhale. Shoulders are relaxed, all your facial muscles relaxed. Quads, relax them. Open up those hips, let them relax. And you can stay here for as long as you want. I'm gonna sit up and I'm gonna give my back a nice stretch because we're not done the day. So I'm sitting straight up, shoulders over my hips. I'm gonna take some deep breaths, push my belly button forward. And this is basically a wake up stretch. It's the first thing you do in the morning when you wake up is get a nice stretch. Take a nice deep breath, get all that good oxygen in through the brain. Down in, push that diaphragm down, and exhale, push that diaphragm back up. Get rid of that stale used oxygen. One more time, up and down. I've got my arms coming up. Notice the shoulders not moving. Exhale. And namaste. Well, thank you, everybody. Good job. Woo woo. Woo woo. Let's give a shout out to the class. Yay! Woo! Thank you, Spencer Senior Center. Yay!